From Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
We begin tonight with a news story at 10, a puzzling story out of Bemidji. Authorities are trying to find the man that witnesses say was hit by a train. These witnesses told police that they saw him facing the oncoming train as it rolled through town.
The train engineer said he was unable to stop, heard the impact, and saw objects fly into the air. Witnesses again said they saw the man get knocked down, get back up, collect some belongings, and walk away. Officers followed the tracks in the snow for a while, but were not able to find the man. They're asking residents to check their garbages and property. Hospitals also have been notified.
3 servicemen are dead after a Minnesota National Guard helicopter crashed near Kimball, Minnesota this afternoon. Officials say it happened shortly after takeoff from the St. Cloud Airport for a maintenance check flight.
Emily Havoc has the latest.
Officials say the search officially began when the Minnesota National Guard reached out to local law enforcement about a Mayday call that came from a UH-60 Black Hawk helicopter that left the Army Aviation Support Facility near the St. Cloud Airport. National Guard officials say 3 soldiers were on board the helicopter for a maintenance test flight and left the St. Cloud facility at around 2 o'clock this afternoon. A few minutes after takeoff, officials say they lost contact with the Black Hawk and contacted local authorities for help in finding it. Hours after that call, local area agencies found the wreckage in a field in Kimball, 16 miles southwest of where it took off. All 3 soldiers were killed in the crash.
On behalf of our Adjutant General, Major General John Jensen, our Minnesota National Guard family is devastated by the death of these soldiers. And our priority right now is ensuring that our families are taken care of. The name of the deceased will be withheld pending next of kin notification.
Governor Tim Walz says from his 24 years of service in the Army National Guard, he knows how close the soldiers can get. He says the state will be ready to assist the family members of those affected.
These are brothers in arms, and I ask for us to think the folks that are in this room still doing their professional duty were not just fellow soldiers, they were friends, and know the families. So it's a tough time.
The identities of the National Guard soldiers are not being released until their families are notified. A 62-year-old man is dead after police say he got trapped inside a grain bin near Twin Valley, Minnesota this afternoon. Norman County authorities responded to the Strand Township between Gary and Twin Valley around 1. Deputies tell us the man was found dead in the bin. His body has been taken to Grand Forks for an autopsy.
A 72-year-old man is dead after a crash near Devil's Lake. Frank Candle was driving his car when troopers say he failed to negotiate a curve and ended up in the ditch where his car hit a large stump and then flipped. Candle died at the scene. Troopers say he was not wearing a seatbelt. That crash remains under investigation by the Highway Patrol.
There are new details about allegations of an early childhood special education teacher hitting a student in the shoulder at a South Fargo school. Documents detail a series of interviews and meetings carried out as a part of the Fargo Public Schools investigation, including an eyewitness account. The witness claims she saw the teacher hit the student while opening the door, and the student had a hat pulled down over his eyes. She goes on to say the teacher then grabbed the student forcefully, yelled, and hit him in the shoulder. The teacher admitted to accidentally hitting the student with the door and said that she was frustrated, but that she would never hit a student. Cameras at the school did not capture the incident. The school completed the investigation on November 22nd and reinstated the teacher after finding these allegations were unsubstantiated. Some major damage left behind after a handful of car break-ins in South Fargo. The damage is so bad for one man living there. He says he's going to have to cough up thousands of dollars to fix his truck.
Valley News Team's Courtney Lockie spoke with neighbors who told her they're left feeling downright creeped out.
We've heard it time and time again. Don't leave your cars unlocked. But locks weren't enough to keep thieves away from this South Fargo neighborhood.
Woke up this morning, went out to work about 7 a.m., opened up the driver's side door and looked across and unfortunately seen my window broken out.
This man didn't want us to show his face, but he did share these pictures. He wants to warn his neighbors about what happened. You can see here where someone took a crowbar right to his truck window.
Look in the back, my tools were gone, headphones.
He says it's going to cost him over $4 grand to fix all of the damages, and that doesn't even include the amount they stole in tools. He wasn't the only victim of the night either. Just next door, a woman tells us she's feeling creeped out after someone rummaged through her garage and stole about $400 worth of clothing and shoes from her car. She tells us she has Ring, but the camera didn't catch the people who did this. Even though they didn't catch the culprit this time, Derek Swenson with Moorhead PD says getting cameras for your house isn't a bad idea.
You're going to be a victim already. However, that you're going to be, at least we're going to be able to hopefully find that suspect. So you want to have those cameras in a place where you can actually capture the person.
Police also say it doesn't hurt to keep your home lit up. If it looks like no one is home, thieves might feel more inclined to jump into action. In the FM area, Courtney Lockie, Valley News Live.
Anyone with information about these break-ins is urged to call police.
The owner of a Ransom County bar and grill is asking for help after 2 women were caught cleaning out the till early yesterday morning, and it's how they got inside that's turning heads.
Looked at this hole in the wall thinking, God, it's bright in here. What's missing? And my air conditioner was on the floor, and I knew right away I'd been burglarized.
Now, Lemna can't disclose just how much money was taken, but she says for the most part it was everything she had. Ransom County deputies are investigating the case. If you have any information or know the women involved, you're urged to call the Sheriff's Department at this phone number, 683-5255.
You might see more cops out on North Dakota roads starting next Friday. That's when their Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign gets into full swing. It aims to get impaired drivers off the road. Troopers urge you to always drive sober, designate a sober driver, or use a ride-hailing service. Data in 2019 shows nearly 43% of North Dakota motor vehicle fatalities involved alcohol, and that's a 10% increase from the year before.
The Science Museum of Minnesota has received a $1 million donation from an anonymous donor. It is the largest donation in the organization's recent history. The donation was designated as an unrestricted gift, meaning that the money can be used however the museum deems fit.
The Minnesota Twins are moving to make things safer for their fan base by extending and raising safety netting at Target Field. The Twins announced today the enhanced netting will extend an additional 85 feet from where it currently ends on the third base left field line and 65 more feet down the first base right field line, covering Target Field's diamond box seated areas. The netting uses state-of-the-art technology with thin strands and a knotless intersection to deliver a minimally obstructive viewing experience.
Farmers with federal crop insurance, this story's for you. There is a deadline this coming Tuesday for farmers to file their notice of loss with insurers for most spring planted crops, including corn and soybeans. According to this week's crop report, harvested corn was at 36%, well behind 87% at this time last year. Soybeans harvested were at 92%, slightly behind 95% from the previous year.
Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with No Wait Weather.
Closing out your Thursday as we head into the overnight hours, we do have some low clouds drifting overhead. Temperatures, well, those north winds cooled us off heading into the evening hours, but it feels colder, and the thermometer says kind of a nip to it thanks to those winds that have been out of the north all day. They are tapering off. They've been around 20 miles per hour most of the evening, now down to 10. Feels like 10 outside, but your thermometer on the car will tell you it's in the low 20s, and that's what we see for all of our southeast North Dakota counties. Jamestown has 25, as a matter of fact. Some teens in western portions of Minnesota, all the way from Otter Tail County and Fergus Falls, where it's 18 to 16 in Roseau. And how about the Devil's Lake base in Langdon? Devil's Lake both at 12 degrees, so significantly cooler there. Here's a look at the satellite. And first, take a look at some mighty chilly air that we've been talking about. Now look at this, 15 below up there, central Canada. Yeah, it looks pretty chilly. We'll talk more about that in a second. Right now, here's the clearing. Thanks to the clearing, that's why we have temperatures the coldest up in the Devil's Lake Basin. They're near 10 degrees already. A little bit of cloud cover helping keeping us from getting too cold too quickly, and even a few flurries of snow from time to time. Nothing significant as far as accumulations go, just more wintry weather heading into our overnight. Now, up north is where it will be the coldest as we head through the overnight hours. And what we're going to notice with our winds is they've been out of the north all day. by daybreak, we're going to see it switch around and become southerly, particularly in our southern counties. Thanks to that, the southern half of our viewing area from about I-94 and Point South will be closer to 10 to maybe 15 degrees to start out your Friday. Single-digit readings. Some areas, I do believe in the Devil's Lake Basin to the Northern Valley, a shot at near 0-degree readings to start your Friday morning. Now, we will have an increase in clouds through the midday, and those clouds could yield a few flakes of snow. I think anywhere from northeast North Dakota into northwest Minnesota will be the best chance as that warm front tries to push in. It will not be as warm as today, but we will have a south wind throughout the day. So starting out at 7 degrees in Fargo, warming only into the low 20s as opposed to low 30s. Cloudy skies, south winds at around 10 to 15 miles per hour. We'll see 20s everywhere. Eastern North Dakota, western Minnesota, all of us in the low to mid 20s. A few might get to the upper 20s. Saturday, nice day. After that, nice being 30s for some and 20s for the rest of us. But take a look at this. This is the 0 line where you see the white north winds, and by Monday morning it looks cold and quite snowy. A cold, fluffy snow will hit the valley, could accumulate pretty significantly, and that will set the stage for an Arctic outbreak here. That means we'll have temperatures during the daylight hours that stay near or below 0, and overnight low temperatures will be ridiculous, bone-chilling, tooth-chipping kind of cold. Yeah, that's right. It looks like it sticks around for the better part of the work week next week as well. Here is a look at a grain elevator. Thanks for uploading your photo. Take a look at this. Saturday for the big Bison game, 32 degrees, south winds keeping us mild. Sunday is when things begin to change. Sunday night snow starts. By Monday, several inches of fluffy snow and temperatures in the single digits. After that, 10 to 25 below Tuesday and Wednesday morning with highs sub-0.
We've got until Sunday, you're saying.
Enjoy yourself,
Yeah,
yes.
thanks.